Hey, hey, what's going on? What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? How's it going? Can everyone hear me okay? Just gonna wait for a few people to come on here, see if anyone else joins. Ah, good, man. Hey, it's muggy over here too. It's like 95 right now in my garage, so pretty rough. All right, we got a few more joining. Hey, if someone chime in, let me know if the audio's okay. I'm kind of using a different mic here, so want to see if it picks up okay. Cool. Thanks, Jonathan. How you doing, man? Good to see you. So we'll just give it a minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump right into just doing the drawing for the three winners, because we'll get that out of the way. And if anyone wants to stay and chat a little bit, I'm totally cool with that. It's up to you. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And yeah, so again, the rules for the contest, you don't have to be present here today. So what I'm going to do in just a minute or two is draw three random names from the comment section of the material video that I posted. And we've got about 160 entries. So thank you very much to everyone that commented and watched that video. It was a really good video interaction. So I appreciate that. That really helps out the channel a lot. And yeah, I'm really excited to give three packs of this material away. I've got these sample packs here with, so those have a sheet of walnut, sheet of maple, and one sheet of white oak. So it's a good little starter pack. Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and get into the giveaway, because I think that's why most people are here. But like I said, if you have a question or something, leave it in the comments. You can type it now and I'll come back to it. But let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and get into the drawing. Okay, so again, for the drawing, I'm going to pick three names randomly from the comment section. You do not have to be present to win here. I'm going to um, ask you that you email me. If you're one of these people that win here, I'm going to ask you that you email me at brett@arcshop.us. That's going along on the bottom of the screen right now as well. And I will have it in the comment section after this video is over with so that you can remember it. But send me an email and I'm just going to go through some verification just to make sure that it's the right person that's winning, and I'll get some information from you, your address, and hey, I'll get these right out. So, all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and pick the first winner. 162 entries, so thank you very much. First winner is, oh, user US3Li5CK. All right, well, hey, if that's you, please email me at brett@arcshop.us. You are the first winner. All right, second winner is Rocky River Hills. Rocky River Hills. Congratulations, you've won a material starter pack, 1/8 inch MDF core plywood. This is white oak, walnut, and maple. So go ahead and email me at brett@arcshop.us and we'll get that sent out to you. And the final winner, the third winner, is going to be user EK7IR6XE8V. All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate all the entries. Again, I can't say that enough. If you're one of the three names that I called, please email me at brett@arcshop.us. It's going along the bottom of your screen here, okay, right here. So you're going to want to email me, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So let's see here. Who do we got in here? We got 9 watching right now. Thank you very much for joining me. I know it's a Saturday afternoon over here on the West Coast. It's about 3:30, so I know everyone's busy. So thanks for joining me for a little bit. What are you guys working on? Anyone new to laser engraving, or have any questions, or you guys experienced? You know what you're doing? Let's see, we got, okay, so we have Mississippi in here today. That's Jeff. And Jonathan's from Austin. And Richard from North Carolina. And Scott Johnson from Nebraska. Cool. If you're just joining us, I see we got a few more people popping in right now. We gave the winners, or we already drew the winners for the contest. I'm going to be putting the winners down in the description of this video, so you can come back and check it. So don't worry. Cool, a 4-layer clock. That's awesome. What kind of material are you using for that? And some business cards. So on Galvo laser, huh? Or are you doing it on a, what kind of laser are you doing business cards on? Arizona. All right. What's up, L. Brooks? So see, Jonathan's working on a 4-layer clock. Let me know what material you're using for that. Curious. And then Richard, working on some business cards. Are you using a Galvo laser for that, or diode, CO2? What are you working on, or what are you using for that? Curious. Willow Tree, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Willow Tree says, I've got the same 80-watt mom port, picked up some flexi brass acrylic. Okay, so that's the acrylic that kind of looks like brass, right? It's got like a metallic kind of texture to it or whatever. Did a material test, but all kind of looks the same. What's your recommendation on settings? Well, I've never used that type of flexi brass before, but I would say if your material test is all looking the same, change the parameters of it a little bit to try to get some sort of variation in there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're running, let's see, if you were running like, I don't know, maybe if it's a starter for that, I would try like 20% power and maybe like 150 millimeters a second for speed. If you're just going up like, you know, every 10 millimeters per second, or, you know, 1 or 2% power on each one of your material test squares, I would broaden that range a little bit so you get something from the low end of the spectrum to something on the higher. So like, in other words, like the lower end of your card should like not even really be engraving, or just like barely engraving. And then the higher end should be like way too dark, you know? So try to do some more cards. I know it could be hard sometimes, especially with that kind of material. I'm sure it's not cheap. It's not like, you know, plywood or something, but give that a try. That's what I would do, just to try to narrow that down. So I just got an idea. Okay, what do you think about this? I'm going to give away a fourth material pack here. Okay, so this is just off the cuff. I haven't even set this up, so I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it. But to everyone in the live stream right now, so there's 10 people in, maybe, yeah, 11. We got 11 now. Okay, I'm going to be giving an additional pack away here. So I'm going to give it like 1 minute. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. I'm going to give it 1 minute. You don't need to do anything. If you're in the live stream, you're good. All right, so Jonathan, you are using birch ply. Okay. 1 layer of mahogany plywood. Oh, pretty nice. Now, I wonder, is that like wood plywood, or is that like the MDF core style of stuff? I've never seen mahogany plywood really. I think maybe I've seen it in the MDF core, but it was pretty pricey stuff. So that should look really cool. And oh, and you're doing a 30-watt diode, okay? I think I have a couple diodes that I'm going to be testing here in the next couple weeks, and we're also going to be doing giveaways on those. So make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to test 2 diode lasers if you haven't seen, and after the video, I'm going to give them away. So we're going to do another one of these live streams again, kind of the same thing. I haven't worked out all the rules yet, but after I'm done doing a kind of a first impressions video and kind of showing you around the machine, like I'll send it to you. So that should be pretty exciting. I'm really excited about that personally. I think it should be cool to get someone started or someone upgraded. And then Richard says he's using the D1 Pro 20-watt. Cool. Jonathan saying he's using a 30-watt, and probably what, a Rolly, Jonathan, maybe the Rolly Mark II or whatever. I think, well, I'm sure other people make the 30-watt, but they're the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. But the 20 or 30 watt range is like such a good power level for diodes. Like the engravings are like really nice still, and they can still cut. Most of that range that you're gonna be cutting with a diode laser is gonna be the 1/8 inch type of material anyway, and they just cut through like butter. So really a big fan of those. And Richard, you're looking to get a bolt pretty soon. All right, look, highly recommend that. I would say that's my #1 pick. I mean, I bought 2 of them. I have 2 of them. Me and my wife bought 2 of them over the past year, and I just think hands down it's the best laser, just hands down for just getting into business or even a hobby machine. I mean, it's like just such a good value, and it does so much. So I couldn't say enough good things about the bolt. Willow Tree. Okay, so 300 speed, 10. Okay, so between 300 millimeters a second and 10% power. So 3 to 5. Well, okay. I mean, whatever you got to do, I would just try to expand those settings a little bit so you get some sort of variation. Because if I'm not well, is that the kind of material that's like has a brass layer on top, like a metallic finish on top, and then it has like a layer that's black underneath it? So when you engrave, it gets into that black layer. Is it like that, or is it just like solid brass color all the way through? Okay, so I mean, it's a good thing that you got some good results. That's a plus. But if you want to really expand that range, that's what I already said is what I would do. And of course, thank you very much for making a purchase of the material pack. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're liking it and you're testing it out. Tell me, did everything did it arrive okay? How was the packaging like? We've been kind of going through a few different variations of the packaging to make sure it gets to where it's going safely. So I didn't hear anything bad, so I'm assuming it arrived okay. But is there anything you can tell me about that, good or bad? All right. So while we're waiting here, I'm gonna make a little list here of the people in the chat. So give me a second. I got to see even how I can find out who's in the chat. Like I said, I wasn't really prepared for this, but okay, so we got Tony, Jeff, Jonathan, Richard, Scott Johnson, Willow Tree, L. Brooks. Judy. What's up, Judy? Cleaning up from a flood, then working on some wood and acrylic wind spinners. Oh, well, sorry about the flood, but at least you're getting everything taken care of and getting on to some fun, huh? Welcome. Thanks for coming, Judy. Let's see. Mark T. OF Cleveland. Of Cleveland. What's up? Thanks for joining. If you didn't hear earlier, I am going to be giving out one additional starter pack of the 1/8 inch MDF core plywood. We already drew the 3 winners earlier. So if you missed that, don't worry. I'm going to have the winners in the description below. But we're going to draw one more, a 4th pack from the people that are in the stream right now. As a thank you for coming and joining and chatting. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Is anyone else new jumped in? I see 11 or 10. Did anyone? Okay, so I got Tony, Jeff, Jonathan, Richard, Scott, Willow Tree Woodworking, L. Brooks, Judy, Mark T, and Of Cleveland. Did I miss anybody here? Anybody watching that I did not see in the chat? James, hey. Gotcha. James. What's up, James? Whoa, 110. My garage is 90. Oh, hold on, let me see. It is 97 right now in here, but hey, it's not 110, so fight through it. Okay, so I got all the names here. I'm going to number these names on my little board here. And I'm going to see if I can find just a little random number generator here real quick. Okay, so minimum 1. So we got 11 right now. Okay. Let me go back here. Anyone else new? Okay, this is the final, seriously, the final. I know I said a minute like 7 minutes ago, but 1 minute. I'm going to give it 1 minute here. Colin, nice to meet you. Duly noted. And I have checked out your YouTube channel. Good job. Keep it up. I really like it. Sorry, James. That sucks. Fight through it. You got to get out there and work, you know. So you got to make it happen. But yeah, that's some tough weather. Okay, it's been a minute. Let me share my screen here. To my random number generator. Okay, so I've got 11 entries. I've numbered every name that I... So did I got you, James? Yeah, I got you, James. Okay. I've given everyone a number here on my... Let me see here. On my board. And let's pick a random number. Here we go. And the winner is number 1. And number 1 is Tony. Congratulations, Tony. You still in here, Tony? You got to be in here to win, so. I should have said that first, but we'll give Tony a minute. I joined because of your CNC stuff, but I also have laser engraver and 3D printers. All right. Well, hey, thanks for subscribing. Those subscriptions really mean a lot to me, and I definitely have some more CNC stuff coming up. I've kind of been laser heavy here because that's kind of what we do on a daily basis. I use the CNC for some products, but it was mostly like I mean, that started, well, everything, all this stuff started as a hobby, but the CNC, I just have a few products that I make on it every once in a while for business wise. So I haven't been doing a lot of content and stuff with that, but I do have some other projects. I like to do like beginner stuff with the CNC. I have like a bunch of like projects and file combinations that I've been working on, like actual like things that people can sell to kind of like jumpstart their business. So I've been working on the videos, not filming them or anything, but like brainstorming. I've got a lot of ideas, so I just got to kind of get around to making those. So if you like the CNC stuff, then there's definitely more to come. All right, Tony, where you at, man? Where you at? Let's see. Maybe you ditched, or maybe you got out early here. Let's see. I got your looking back through the old comments. I can't even go. Oh yeah, there we go. Tony, 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 Tony. Tony, where are you at, Tony? I can't even find him anywhere. Where the heck did he go? Oh, you know what? We're gonna redraw because Tony was the first comment, and that was like from 3 o'clock. He kind of jumped in early, like before we even started. So I'm gonna take Tony off the list. All right, here we go. New number. Okay, you ready? 11. So we went from one end to the other. Who's number 11? James. You're in here, right, James? You were a minute ago. Where are you at, James? I know you're in here. Congratulations, you won the new material pack. Anyone else have any questions or anything? I mean, I got time. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Hey, 10 watt. I started with a 10 watt myself, so I had the first X Tool D1, just the regular D1 10 watt. You get to pick between a 5 and a 10 watt when those things first came out. So I got the 10, and you could do a lot with the 10 watt. And engravings, man, engravings come out awesome on 10 watts. So you could do a lot with that still. So keep learning it, keep practicing. And you have a Shapeoko too. I can't say enough about the Shapeokos, especially the 5 Pros. All right, James. Hey, there you are. Oh, congratulations, James. James, email me, brett@arcshop.us, and we'll take care of the details, and I'll get that right out to you. So what else is everyone working on? You got a few projects going? I mean, just kind of hanging out for Saturday, or anyone doing other business stuff, or what? Congratulations, James. And James and everybody should thank my wife for that idea because she texted me as I was doing this, and I can't take credit for the idea because it's all her. So, so thank you, Carol. Jonathan, I started out with an Atom Stack 5 watt. Yep, 4 years. Wow, 4 years ago. Pretty early on for the diode laser stuff. Yeah, it does definitely fly too fast. I know about that. There's lots of stuff to be made. So James, you're working on a couple of plaques. Okay, cool. And a drop tray for my son. Good. Classic items. And a card for CNC with me. Christmas in July. What's that? What's that, Jam? Never heard of that. Is that like a online type of thing, or is that like a trade show or craft show or something? Or if you guys haven't seen today too, I posted a new video about the Bolt Pro 32 today, just about 2 hours ago or so. Did a bunch of cut testing with it just to see what it could do. This is 1/4 inch acrylic. I mean, just dozens of tests over the past about a week or so. So that was a fun video to make, and man, this thing kicks ass. I mean, the original bolts, like I said before, like my most recommended and probably my favorite laser besides this, but this is a whole different class. I mean, this thing's 3 times the cost as the bolt, so it's a step up for sure, a few steps up, but it's everything that the original bolt has, but just with even more power. So you can cut so much stuff with it, but it still engraves awesome. That's like what is so nice about these lasers with the RF tubes, the radio frequency tubes. They just, not only do they cut, their engravings are so fine and detailed. So really recommend the RF laser sources if you can swing those. Good question, Richard. I swear this is not a plant. Richard is not a plant, but yes, I do sell the sample packs. I sell them on my Etsy page, so I'll put a link for that in the description, or you can just go back to the other video and find that link. But yes, I have these packaged like this, and I do sell them in case you just kind of want to get one of each and just test it out, see what you like. But yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I remember because I've seen his videos. I watch all his videos, but I remember now that he has that sort of competition. So community competition where we get an SVG from another participant, cut it and share it. Cool. So you got to get an SVG from a stranger, someone else, and kind of make the tool paths and make it work. That's a neat idea. Oops. We'll get to you, Mark. L. Brooks. So I'm excited to try the wood you sell. I am new to lasers and have only used birch. Your stuff looks so much more amazing for projects. Can you tell us what you love about the MDF core wood? Thank you very much, L. Brooks. And again, this is not an industry plant. I have not planted this person in the comments, but I, you know what? I said this in the video. But I'll leave that up, I guess. But the 1/8 inch MDF core plywood is such a great material to use because number one, it's thin. Okay, so at 1/8 of an inch, it's like 3 millimeters. Any laser can cut through it. A 10-watt diode laser can cut through this material. So if you have something up above that, you're just cranking it out even faster. Two, it's MDF core, so it's pretty flat. So okay, it's 1/8 of an inch still, so like it can still bend a little bit, especially like if your humidity in your shop is changing and stuff like that. Like any material that thin is gonna like kind of bend, but not like, it does not bend like regular 1/8 inch plywood if you've ever used that, like birch plywood or the basswood plywood. Like that stuff will turn into a potato chip, especially if you paint it or like stain it. You get any moisture on it, it curls, which it still works too. Like you pin it down and you're fine. Like usually you're making like ornaments or I don't know, like other smaller projects with that kind of stuff, so you're usually laminating it together, like doing 2 layers of it anyway, so like that holds it flat anyway. But the MDF stuff stays pretty darn flat, so I really like that. And the third thing about it that I like is that you can see this has the plastic on it, so it's reflective. But I mean, this first piece here is walnut. So, you cut out your ornament or you cut out your gift tag or, like a gift card holder or some whatever little project you're doing, and or your sign, menu, I don't know, wedding stuff like table markers, whatever. But you cut it out and clean it up a little bit, and it's done. Like you don't have, you're not taking birch plywood and then putting I don't have it. I thought I had it here, but you're not taking birch plywood and then putting, varathane walnut stain on it. It's already walnut color, so like it's done. Like you put finish on it and it's done. And so that's like the biggest time saving thing well, one of the biggest time saving things that we like about it the most, because whether it's walnut or maple, white oak, cherry, like it comes in a lot of different variations. Like it's just a finished product. So that's what I like about it. Some of the things I probably like more stuff about it if I thought about it more, but so let me know what you think about that, L. Brooks. Have you done lighted acrylic engraving with laser? Well, I'm not sure what that is, but no, because the only acrylic stuff I ever do is clear acrylic. I've played around doing some samples with some like mirrored acrylic, some like sparkly glitter acrylic for like some Christmas stuff I did a while ago or last Christmas. But really all I use is clear cast. So I have this on my Etsy store as well. 19 by 11 3/4 by 19-inch pieces. So I use this a lot, and my wife uses this a lot. But maybe you're talking about like the clear acrylic that you shine a uplight through, like those like night lights or whatever. Like, so I've never done those before, but it's basically this. It's pretty simple. It's an engraving on clear acrylic or any transparent acrylic, and then a cut, an outline cut of it that fits into those little hockey puck looking light bases, and then it lights uplights it. So if that's what you're talking about, no, I haven't done it, but I've used similar materials. Yeah, Jonathan, thank you. That sparked my memory. So yes, fourth thing I like about it is, but fourth thing I like about the MDF core plywood is, yes, it's consistent. So it's manufactured with MDF, obviously. So it's like sawdust, like in resin or glue, like compressed together. So it's kind of like a man-made product, but it's very consistent. So like I said, it was flat. So not only is it like pretty flat, but it also doesn't have any voids or anything in it. Like plywood, you never know what you're going to get. Like half the time, especially if you're going to like Home Depot or Lowe's, we used to buy stuff there all the time. They're like underlayment, or I mean, they would market some different 1/4 inch various plywoods that we would try and make stuff with. But depending on which sheet you got, like there's voids all over it. So you can hold it up into the light. I used to do this at the store. I would take it and like hold it up into the light to see where those voids were and try to pick one that had, a few of them. And if, there's no getting around it, they all have voids in it. So like when I was at home, I would do that, and I would kind of circle the voids, because so many times we would be cutting that stuff and like we'd ruin, an hour-long cut job because like a couple of the pieces had the voids like on the edge. It just was like a random chance to get on that part of the board that had the cut or the void in it, and it would ruin our piece. So we're, here we are wasting an hour cutting this stuff out and throwing the piece away. So the voids are a big thing that I don't like, and the reason why I like the MDF stuff. And the other reason, or the other downfall of plywood and all the layers, well, it's a benefit of plywood because it's so strong. They're putting all those layers together. But when you're cutting it, not only are you cutting the wood, the layers of wood, but there's a layer of glue in between each one of those too. And if you're cutting like Baltic birch plywood, I mean, that's like, it could be 7 layers or so for a 1/8 inch piece or a 1/4 inch piece. And it's a ton of glue. So even though the Baltic birch stuff is going to be really consistent, and there's probably not going to be any voids in it, but you're going to have a heck of a time cutting it because of all the glue in it. And the layers are like different densities. And I mean, it's different. The faces of the plywood are different than what's inside the middle of the plywood. They're using like cheaper, whatever different qualities of wood inside usually. And so you might get something that's like super tough to cut. I saw plywood at Home Depot a couple days ago when I was getting stuff for some of these material tests I did in my video. And they had a weird plywood I've never seen there before in a 2x4 sheet that had like a hardboard layer in the, like that 1/8-inch hardboard that they sell to cover floors and stuff. Like it had that in the middle of it, and that stuff's hard to cut. Even the 1/8-inch stuff, it's like super hard to cut. So you never quite know what you're going to get in the middle of those. It just depends on the manufacturer of the plywood and where you're buying it, and even it's going to vary between pieces in the same stack or unit of plywood. I mean, they're all going to be a little bit different. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Let me see. Yes. Thank you, James. I didn't even think to do that. I just put my email in the chat. Again, don't worry. We'll be on for a little bit longer here, however long, this goes on, and it's up to you guys. But I will immediately after the video, I end the video, I'll go into the comments of this video, and I'm going to put all the people that won, and then I'm going to put just all the information, and I will go back to the original video too, and like put that as like a pinned comment on that video saying these are the winners, and contact me, all the information. So, but yep. Thanks again, Richard. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Las Vegas. How hot is it in Vegas right now? I've been complaining it's like 93 in here right now, but I have a fan on, like my swamp cooler little fan thing going on me right now, so it's like it's the only reason I'm not dripping all over my keyboard, but I'm sure it's not Vegas weather. Thank you. That's all stuff that, yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Cool. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Like I said in my video, I mean, this stuff's out there. It's a little hard to find. I mean, it just depends on where you live, whether you can find the 1/8-inch or I use a 1/4-inch too, but the 1/4-inch is a lot tougher to cut, so I don't really offer that because it's like pretty tough to cut it on a diode. Like a 40 watt will cut it and everything, but uh, you know, I just right now I'm not really offering that. Plus, and it's heavier, so it's a lot to ship. So I try to keep the cost down on this stuff, but Etsy takes a cut of it. I got to pay. I'm doing free shipping, so I'm paying to ship it, and it depends on where it goes. Like, there's a lot of different costs and packaging. All that stuff goes into it. It's crazy. So I do recommend that you go try to find it. I mean, I'm not. I didn't invent this material or anything. I mean, it's just everywhere in the country is different, and even around my area, which I have a lot of like cabinet shops and lumber dealers and just all sorts of like those types of large warehouses that sell this specific product and lots of different plywoods and stuff. And it's even hard to find there. Like I have to go a lot of different places and talk to a lot of people and to get my supply of it and whatnot. But I can imagine, and I've heard from other people that, in other areas of the country, it's just, you can't find it. So I definitely recommend you look for it in your area. If you can't find it, hey, I've got it. I've got it in convenient pieces here. So if that helps you, that's great. That's why I have it available, just because it's hard to find, and yeah. So thanks a lot. I appreciate that. 110. Yeah. So again, I'm not gonna cry. I won't say anything else. I won't say anything else about the heat in my garage right now, maybe until you leave, but I can't complain. There's someone else that, was in Phoenix or Arizona that was the same type of temperature like that. So I can't complain. So what's up? Anyone else new? Jump in. I was kind of talking a lot there, so I missed some of the comments. But what do you got? Anybody have any question about anything? Any questions? I mean, I don't do a lot of live streams, so you know, like I'm trying to do more. Well, I'm thinking about doing more. They're just they're tough. I mean, making videos is tough too, but I mean, like at least I can plan those, and you know, I have different times when I'm shooting those at night or whatever, and kind of go back and you know fix things if something doesn't work, or, like or you don't say the right thing or whatever. You know, you can have different takes, right? Live is a little bit different, so trying to make them interesting is hard for me anyway. So I'm trying to practice at it, you know. So like if anyone has anything, like I'm here, man. I'm here. Thank you. Thank you, 3DHP. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, anytime someone likes a video or hits that subscribe button, like it really does help push the video out to other people because it's weird. Like, I mean, I don't have a big channel. I've been working really hard on it this year. That's been my goal to get to 10,000 is my goal for this year. So I'm like halfway there. So I've been working hard to post consistently and try to make the best videos that I can make and the most entertaining videos that I can make. But like, if people don't like the video, like you may like it, but not just press the like button. You know, I do that sometimes. I'm watching videos and like, you know, sometimes I watch them on my TV, so I don't really have the option to do that. But pressing the like button or subscribing to the channel really does help, like send the video to other people like in their feed that may not be subscribing to the channel. And it's weird, like a huge percentage of people that watch my videos, and this, it's like this for any channel, I think, but like a huge percentage of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. It's like 90% or something like that. Like only 10% of the people that watch the videos are subscribed. So a lot of room to grow, definitely. So it's encouraging in that sense that there's, you know, a lot of people that watch that aren't subscribed. So I don't know if they're just not pressing the subscribe button because it's a pain in the butt, or maybe they don't like the channel. I don't know, but thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Richard, I have thought about the F1 Ultra. Any plans on a review? Not sure if you had received one. While the Bolt is on my radar, I have tossed around the Ultra idea. No, I don't have one. I haven't done anything with Xtool. They don't know who I am. I kind of talk crap on the S1 in a video, so I don't think they like me very much. Even they probably didn't see it though, but I mean, whatever. But no, I don't have it. I've got the fiber here. To me, this is just like a, this is like I guess my initial just impression. I've never used it, never touched it. Okay, but you know, Xtool in general, I don't like using XCS. They've changed it a lot, and it's gotten a lot better. Like my first machine was an Xtool D1, so I used LaserBox Basic. That's what they had when I used it. It was a piece of junk. Like it did nothing. It was like, I mean, it controlled the thing, but I mean, like it did nothing. So when I bought an S1 because I thought it was a neat machine. I thought like I would maybe do some videos on it and stuff, but I didn't end up doing that. But I started to use XCS, and you know, coming from Lightburn, I didn't like the workflow of it. I thought it was kind of clunky, like navigating around it and stuff. And that was before 2.0, so it was like 1.7 or something. So they've updated a little bit since the 2.0 version. But you know, for me, like there was no node editing, like importing stuff was kind of weird, like grouping things together was weird, or welding stuff together was like, I think they called it union in that program. And it was like super slow too. Like I don't have like powerhouse, like here's my laptop back here. I'm not using like powerhouse computers, you know, in my garage. I mean, number one, you don't need it. Like for Lightburn, you don't need them. So why spend all this money on a computer that just controls Lightburn basically? Because I don't do my design work out here. I do that on my nicer laptop or my wife has a nicer laptop that she does a lot of stuff on. But it took like so much computing power. Like it would take forever to boot up, and then like I would import something. I would import a design and have to do something, and like just to move it around with my mouse, and like it's just weird. I didn't like it. That doesn't mean it's not a good program. Like a lot of people love it, and I would assume like if you're not really used to Lightburn and that's what you know, if like XCS is what you learn on, like I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure I could have like gotten used to it, but I didn't like it. I don't really have any interest in learning it. I like Lightburn. That's what I use. It does everything. The support for Lightburn's awesome. The forums for Lightburn are awesome. The documentation, whatever, videos, like you can find so much. It's a really powerful program. Doesn't take a lot of computing power, and it runs everything. And I didn't like shorts. No, long story short, I didn't like the S1 partly because of XCS, and you couldn't run Lightburn on it really. I couldn't get it to work, and it still doesn't work very well. I mean, some people can kind of limp it along with it, but you know, a lot of the features don't work on it. So as far as the F1 is concerned, you know, it's a 20-watt Galvo, so it's a fiber laser, and a 20-watt blue light diode. It's cool, a really cool concept that you could be able to do both of those. It's slightly portable, you know, more portable than this, my 60-watt here. And it's got the shield, so I guess theoretically you could take it to a show or something like you do with the F1. But it's pretty expensive for a 20-watt fiber. Like you can get a 20-watt fiber laser, kind of like this one, or the split units. I mean, they're like $2,000, even cheaper. Like you can get some of the, you can get one for $1,500, 20-watt, and it's gonna do like, it's gonna engrave the same as the Ultra. It's not gonna have the camera, you know, it's not gonna have the conveyor thing, which I don't even know. I'm not sure how that really works, but seems neat. But it's you know, you can get a lot of fiber laser for I think the F1 Ultra is like 4,500. So you can get a lot of fiber laser. You can get a 60-watt for that, and which is what I have. And you know, it's gonna engrave the same way. It's going to be actually better in some ways because it's more powerful. We're going to be getting things done quicker, but it's not going to be nearly as user friendly as the F1 Ultra. Like if you're brand new and you just kind of want that, like, you know, turnkey type of thing where you know, XCS is going to walk you through all that stuff. The Xtool documentation is going to pretty much walk you through everything. Like it's going to be a pretty easy laser to use, I would assume. So it kind of just depends on what you want, you know. It's a different machine than the Bolt. You say you're tossing around the Bolt, you know, it's totally different. So it's kind of apples and oranges to compare the two together. But if you want to talk more about the Bolt, I would be happy to talk about that. I have a lot of experience with those. So you have the 40-watt RF lead. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. I've never even heard of that, so let me know. What's that all about? I'll have to look that up. I've never seen that. But a 40-watt RF laser, that's some good power. The Bolt, the regular Bolt's 35 watts, and the Bolt Pro is 55 watt for RF. So that's like this one's like about a 100-watt glass tube. So 40 watts, I don't know, that'd probably be like an 80-watt glass tube. Like that's some good power. I think you'll really like the engraving capabilities you have with the RF tube. And Richard, so the batch process really looks appealing, but as it's new, I'm not jumping on the batch. Yeah. Excuse me. It definitely looks cool. No doubt about that. And I'm sure it works great. You know, like 100%, it's going to work great. But for me, it's a little bit pricey for what it does. And I'm not really interested in the batch processing stuff. I don't do a ton of fiber laser stuff yet. I mostly have it set up for tumblers. So pretty much it's my dedicated tumbler machine, you know, stainless. And I do some other smaller stuff on it, but I would never put something on a conveyor like business cards or something like that. I don't really see the point of that. Like business cards are pretty easy, just to like, you have your foot pedal and you set up your, you know, your little angled jig or whatever, and just pump them out. So because they only take a few seconds each. Popping in the show me state. What's up? You missed the giveaway. Thanks for joining us though. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's horrible. Like I don't want to like bash it, but just honestly, like I don't think it's horrible. It's just not nearly as nice as Lightburn. So I just choose not to use it. Plus, Lightburn works on all sorts of lasers too. So if you You know, you can't use XCS with a bolt. You can't use XCS with another diode laser, with a Creality, you know, fiber laser or whatever. Like, so it's just less versatile, I guess, in my opinion. Yeah, I could not agree more. So, Jonathan, that's how it worked for me. Your channel came across my feed. I checked it out and subscribed. I'm always looking for new and fresh stuff to kickstart my ideas. Hey, thank you very much. But me too. Like, me too. Like, I don't have cable. Like, we don't have cable at our house, or like, we have TVs and stuff, but like, I don't have any subscriptions. I don't have Netflix. I don't have anything. I have YouTube. Like, I watch, that's like what we do here is we watch YouTube. So, there's tons of different, channels that I follow and stuff, and you know, it's really important to help support those people that are making those videos, hitting that like button, and it pushes out, because I mean, I'm always interested in seeing what other people are doing, and you know, like, if I don't like different laser videos or different whatever topic I'm researching on YouTube, like, if I'm not liking those specific videos, then I'm not going to get more of it. So, you know, it's going to be hard for me to, you know, find what I'm looking for. And you know, there's tons of content creators out there making videos on all sorts of different topics. Like, so even for as much YouTube as I watch, like, I've barely seen anything, you know? Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And again, Jonathan, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Laptop for everything. With the exception, I have like a little one at my main computer that I run a few of my lasers on is like it's like this big. It's like a little mini PC. It was like $300. Maybe it was less. It was 250, maybe something like that. And it runs everything. I run, you know, Lightburn, Carbide Create, Carbide 3D, Carbide Create, Carbide Motion, CNC stuff. No problem. All right, and Colin's back. Just engraved a magnolia flower on an urn. Okay, turned out beautiful. I'm on the fence, Brett, with the fiber. The Montport is kind of expensive. Been looking at the com marker B4. Yeah, yeah, I like that. So I don't know if you caught this, but I'll briefly talk about it again. Like, so with the fiber lasers, well, what are you using now? What do you have now? I would ask first, but or unless you're engraving an urn on a CO2, maybe it's a painted one or something, I don't know, whatever. But with the fiber lasers, the lower wattage fiber lasers, so 20 watt, 30 watt, they're going to pretty much do the same thing that a 60 watt or 100 watt can do. The biggest difference is going to be with the 60 or the 100 watt fiber, you know, regardless of whether it's a MOPA or not, whatever source it is, the higher the wattage fiber laser is going to do things a lot faster. Okay, like if you're trying to do coins, like 3D engravings, you could do it on a 20 watt. It's just going to take 2 hours. But on, you know, a 60 watt, it's going to take 30 minutes or, you know, whatever, depending on the design. So that's kind of the main difference. They're still going to do the same things, though. You're going to be able to mark, you know, all your metals the same way. It's just going to do it faster. The higher wattage is going to do it faster. So, you know, if that's there's nothing wrong with starting out with a 20 watt, like the com marker. That's kind of what I was thinking of. I think I've seen like a review on that, or a little video on those, and it's like a pretty affordable fiber to start off with, you know, like, I don't know, maybe $2,000 or $1,500. So you don't need to go into the big boys. But the 60 watts, I mean, the Montports, like, say what you will about Montport, but I mean, the Galvos especially, like, there's not much to them. Like, there's not much to break on these things. So, like, they're really similar, in my opinion, anyway. Like, in my eyes, I'm not that technical about it, I guess, but like, as long as you're comparing apples to apples, like with the laser source. So you got a fiber laser with like a JPT-7 laser source, not like a JPT versus Raycus. You know, those are a little bit different, but you know, they're all really similar. So like, I've seen like the mom parts are always on sale. They're like 4,500, I think. I mean, I think normally they're like 6,000, but they're mom parts stuff is never full price. Like they've always got some sort of sale going, 10% or 15% off or whatever. So like their stuff is always discounted, and like they have a new line of fiber lasers too. I don't remember what they call it, but they've got some new ones out, so they bumps down the other ones a little bit. So just my little take on it. That's right. I know. I've seen you. I usually watch. I live streams are tough, aren't they? I mean, but yeah, the laser maker's realm, right? You're welcome. Like that's what this channel's all about. I'm trying, you know, I'm not an expert by any means. Um, I started out, like I said before, with an X-Tool D1, and it's just kind of I really love it. My wife is really into it. My wife is, you know, I mean, she engraves full time. That's her business. She started a business this year. She's been doing it for a couple of years. So and I help her. I have a full time job myself, but aside from making videos, but I help her with the business. So we really love it, and you know, we just try to share what we know so other people can learn and benefit from it as well. We're just trying to pass down as much knowledge as we can. So I appreciate that. You appreciate that. I'm still always learning too. I have. I have. I've been subscribing to your channel for a long time, Colin. Richard, no internet or cable. Wow. Oh man. Phone watcher. Okay. Well, that sucks. I mean, I have internet, so I just choose not to buy cable because I won't get into that here. But like I had all these channels, and I was paying all this money every month, and we never watched anything. So we got rid of it a few years, and it's been nice. A few years ago. There you go. There you go, Colin. Definitely, like I said, me too. What's up, Edward? You bought some material, Edward, didn't you? Let me see. Wait a minute. Did you buy material yesterday? Sorry, excuse me. Let me look at my. I remember your logo. I don't remember. Maybe you commented on something then, something like that. I think I replied to one of your comments. Yeah, that's what it was. You commented. Yeah. I don't know. Some little things like that I just remember. But good to see you here. Love the Monport. Figured I'd start with something simple and scale. Hey, I mean, you might as well be me because that's the same thing I thought too. And the Monport 80 watt that I bought was my first CO2, and um, it's been great. Like I say this all the time, but I still use it all the time. I don't engrave with it really anymore, but I cut with it all the time. It cuts great. The CO2, the glass tube CO2 lasers will cut fantastic, even 80 watts, 80 watts and above, whatever, like they cut great. So I definitely like it. I mean, we paid for that machine many times over just with things that we made on it. So it's a great starter laser. Yep, definitely. You're welcome. I enjoy watching you guys whenever I can. Whenever we're around on Saturday afternoon, I'm putting that on. I wanted the Thunder when I got the CO2, but your vids convinced me to get. Oh, Well, I'm never convincing anyone to get a Thunder or a Monport over a Thunder, but because I love the Thunders. I mean, it's probably I mean, I've only had the Thunders for, let's see, I bought my first Bolt in November of 23, so I've had it for 8 months or whatever. But again, I just talked about Monport CO2s. I won't like talk all day about it, but they're great. They're for, you have to be able, like, you're not going to get customer service. Like, you're going to get customer service. It's going to take forever though. Like, it's like one email a day, and like it's going to take some time. So it's not like Thunder. Like Thunder, I contact customer service and they email me if it's during business days, even weekends. Like, they're emailing me within 10 minutes, and we're talking or whatever. You can call them. Like, you cannot call Monfort. Like, it's just, that's not how it works. But you're not paying for that either. You're not paying for that customer service, not even close. Like a Thunder Nova series CO2 laser, like their lowest model, I think, I don't remember what the sizes of it, but I think they have a 60-watt Nova, and then they'll have like a 80, 100, 130. Like the cheapest Novas are like 10 grand. So, it's an 80-watt Monport's gonna be around 4, and without discounts and stuff, you can get them like in the threes, mid threes, if you find the right sales and stuff. So, it's a much different price range. And then obviously the 80-watt Nova is going to be like 12 grand. So you're talking 3 times the price almost. So you're definitely not paying for the customer service. And that's what I was liking when I bought the Monport. I wasn't really sure if I was going to like this or not, because like we were coming from a diode laser. So, I didn't have 12 grand to spend on a laser. I barely had the 4,000 I spent on my Monport, but it was a great foot in the door, and it gets you learning about the machines. Like, I have not had very many problems with that laser. I've been lucky, I guess. I'm not lucky, because most of their machines you're not going to have problems with. You hear about, a small percentage that talk really loudly about how they suck and whatnot. They've had, a bad tube or something, and 9 times out of 10, those are getting corrected pretty quickly. And I reach out to those people all the time that comment on my videos, like, hey, this is not working. And like, I'll ask them to email me, and no, they never email, like almost never. Like, there's been people that I've talked to and we've worked through some little problems, but the Monports, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn how these machines work, because the Monport 80-watt works the same way basically as the Bolt Pro 32. I mean, as far as the optics are concerned, you have your tube. It's a glass versus RF tube, but you've got your tube in the back, and you've got it's reflecting off of your first mirror over to your second mirror, and then your third mirror, and down out the lens. I mean, it's the same thing. So it's driven by stepper motors on a gantry with X and Y axis, so things moving back and forth, side to side. Like, they work the same. They have their same basically Ruida controller. A lot of like power supplies, they're not the same power supply, but I mean, it's like same principles. They've got the same components. So, your stepper motors, whatever, like, they're the same. They've got their, your limit switches, your optical limit switches and whatnot. Like, the components are the same. So you learn on that, and you pretty much know these things too. So by troubleshooting and researching, like on forums and whatnot, videos of the cheaper, budget friendly CO2 lasers have really taught me a lot. So I've had just a couple things go wrong on that. I've had one limit switch went out. My autofocus probe stopped working, so I just removed it because I never used it anyway. And that's it. I think that's all that's happened with mine. So it's just like little things I had to fix myself. Yeah. Again, I couldn't agree with that more. We all support each other and always are trying to learn something new. So Richard's got to leave, or you're already gone. But hey, thanks a lot, Richard, for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments and for subscribing, liking all the stuff. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. But you got to go do some yard work. So have fun with that. And we'll see you later. We'll do more of these, in the future. So we'll see you around, Richard. Yeah, price is what convinced me. Your videos just showed I made a good choice for the money. Yes. I would love to have a Thunder. Fiber, I think, is next, and it's CNC. So yeah, lots of things to buy, right? And the best way to get a Chinese company to respond is post your problem on their Facebook group, making it public. Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. Have you done much natural materials on the fiber like wood? Good, bad, waste of time. I know they're mostly metal. Just wondering if for any wood. No, I haven't done any wood. I mean, your wood options are going to be really, really, really limited on the fiber. I've used it for all types of metals, stainless steels, regular steel, aluminum. Whatever different alloys I've come across just with different little items, slates. Like I said, mostly what I use it for main the only main business thing that I use it for is for tumblers. So it's my dedicated tumbler machine, stainless steel. So I'm engraving the powder coating off of those things. So no, I have not done any wood. I can't really think of much wood that it would be. I can't really think of off the top of my head like what wood would be good for it. I mean, it almost will not engrave on a lot of different woods, and if it does, it's gonna like really burn. So, but I haven't tried much of it, so you never know. But if you're looking to do wood, I mean, CO2 probably your best bet, or diode. So Nova 24, do you have pass through? Yeah. The mont ports have the pass throughs too. I mean, that's kind of standard. Most of the all the Thunders that I have, the bolts, they just have the pass through in the front. That's it. There's no like side to side pass through, but there's a lot going on. All the components are in both those sides, so there's a lot going there for them to be doing a pass through. But that's never been a big thing for me because I never really got into doing really large stuff like that. So, and plus I don't have the room. Even the left and the right of all my lasers is other stuff. So like I don't really have room to do it. Just like I can tile on my CNC, my Shapeoko 5, my 2x4, but I never do because it's up against the wall, and I'd have to do a lot to move it out from that position. But all right, well, again, I appreciate it's been an hour. I can't believe it. I would definitely stay on longer. My computer is telling me right now that it's going to go to sleep soon unless I plug it in. I didn't plug it in because I didn't think we were going to go this long. So I'm almost dead on my computer. I don't want to just cut out without saying bye to everybody. So I'm going to start wrapping it up right now. Again, I appreciate everyone coming on this live stream. Again, I've got a new video out today. If you haven't checked it out on the Bolt Pro 32, I did a lot of cut testing to show you guys how that thing performs. Thank you very much to everyone who watched the material pack videos. Again, I really appreciate that. I've got the 3 winners that we picked first thing in the video. So if you won, please email me at brett@arcshop.us. I posted that in the comments. I'm going to post it in the description of this live stream also. And I'm also going to post it in the material video as well. So email me. We'll do some verification stuff so I make sure you're the real winner. And send me your address, and I'll get it sent out on Monday. I appreciate it again. I can't say that enough. Do more live streams. I'll work on it. Definitely, I'll work on it. I'll try to think of some different things that we can do and talk about. But as you could tell, I like talking about this stuff. So I got no problem coming on for an hour or whatever, just kind of shooting the shit, right? Like, it's fun. So we like it over here, and I like it especially. So thanks a lot, Jonathan. Get back to work, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, everybody. We're going to end it here. Thanks again. I cannot say that enough, and I can't say that enough because I really mean it. Thanks a lot for joining me, and we'll see you pretty soon. All right? Thanks a lot.